called IaaS or infrastructure as a service. Second, called PaaS, platform as a service. Third, called SaaS, software as a service. Now, what do I mean by IaaS? What do I mean by PaaS? And what do I mean by SaaS? Now, three main important terminologies out here. So, IaaS is just like you going to a market to, let's say, buy a laptop. You buy a laptop with no pre-installed operating system, with nothing inside it. It's just you're buying the hardware, not more. So when you go to a market out there, so most of us have experienced this, right? So in order to cut down the cost, you just go ahead and into just a market, and you just buy a laptop with, let's say, without no operating system at all. So what you're buying essentially is the hardware. When I mean by hardware, you're buying a data drive, you're buying a hard drive, you're buying a RAM, and you're buying everything that is physical that you can see. And on top of which, who would install the software? It is you. It is your responsibility to install the operating system. It is your responsibility to license the operating system. It is your responsibility to install all the softwares inside your computer and make it start working. Now, clients who are looking for such a kind of an option, meaning if they just want the physical hardware or just want the RAM, hard drive, and etc., all these services offered over the internet and nothing else, no softwares. I don't need anything such. Don't cloud. I'll just tell the cloud provider not to provide anything as such. I would just need a bare minimum hardware to go ahead and install my services. That's when infrastructure as a service comes into picture. Now, what happens in an infrastructure service? Very simple. Cloud provider gives you the hardware over the internet. We call this as a bare metal. So it's nothing but just the hardware, and you are responsible, or the client or the end user is responsible to make sure to install operating systems, to make sure to install softwares, to make sure to install everything that is required on top of the infrastructure. Now, one of the famous services in Azure that offers something called as an infrastructure as a service offering is called a virtual machine. Now, what is a virtual machine? What is that? We'll see later. Then, what is a platform as a service? Now, a platform as a service is for users or clients who do not really know how to install this, who do not have a technical team who can install this and maintain all these softwares. I do not need such a kind of a burden. Now, this is me going to a shop, asking the shop owner that, you know what, I'm buying a laptop. Please give me all the pre-installed softwares in it. All I want to do is just switch my laptop on and start using it. This kind of a model on the cloud is called platform as a service offering. Now, what would you get in a platform as a service offering? You would get the underlying infrastructure, meaning you will get hardware, RAM, everything that you were getting in infrastructure as a service, on top of which the cloud provider would also go ahead and install softwares like operating system of your choice, Linux or Windows. So you can go ahead and ask the cloud provider, okay, fine, you know what, I need Windows to be installed on my machine. Go ahead and install it. Any other softwares like .NET and etc., yes, please go ahead and also install that and give the service to me. What do you do with the service? You take your code, put on top of that service and start using it. So it's as simple as it is. So just take the service and start consuming it or start using it. Now this is called platform as a service model. And in any cloud provider model, this today is taking a lot of market share, or this today is taking a lot of advantage, because more and more clients want to just do this. They just want to take the service and leave the maintenance, leave, let's say, the patching and etc. to the cloud provider. Then what is software as a service model? Now, software as a service model is nothing but a consumable software. Meaning, what do I mean by this? Neither the infrastructure nor the software that is sitting on top of the infrastructure is your responsibility. Everything is managed by the cloud provider. He will just give you the service and you can start consuming it. One of the popular examples of software as a service is web.outlook.com. Now, web.outlook.com is one of the service that you can just consume over the internet. You don't need to install anything on your laptop. It's a software that is being managed by Microsoft in the backend, and they just give you over the internet. Now, this is called a software as a service model.